What is up, YouTube? Today I'm coming back at you with another collection update. And this collection update is obviously my PS3 collection update. I don't really have a whole lot of time to do an intro for this, but I have either 114 or 116 games, depending on how you want to count, because I do have like a combined collection thing. So, yeah, I don't really have a whole lot of time to. I'm just going to explain a little bit about each game and then move on quickly so you guys can see every game in my collection. And yeah, I'll just get right into it. I'm not doing any special editions except for these two just because I always keep them this way. So we'll go with the first game, which is the Mass Effect Trilogy. Let me focus the camera. Alright, so the Mass Effect Trilogy. This is the game that I don't know if you consider one or three games. So if you only consider it one, it'd be 114. If you consider it three, it'd be 116 games in my collection. So this is my favorite game of all time. So there's that. And I think everyone should have this game. So put that off to the side. The next big box game that I have is Final Fantasy 13 2. And this is just a limited edition with a novel. But yeah, this is just a continuation of Final Fantasy 13. I actually haven't played it because I never beat Final Fantasy 13 yet. But yeah, Final Fantasy 13 itself is a pretty good game. So excited to get that. Alright, so now we'll get on to my regular games. I have a lot here, so this might take some time. Let's just get right into it. The first thing I have here is Rock Band Track Pack Volume 2. This comes with just various different tracks that you can play by itself on the disc, or you can upload them to your regular Rock Band. Pretty cool. Next one is Rock Band Classic Rock Track Pack. Same thing as the last one, except all classic rock songs. 20 songs in that one as well. Next game, Lost Planet 2. This is my favorite in the Lost Planet series. It's a third-person shooter where you get to shoot bugs on like different planets and stuff. Really cool. Next one is Atelier Maruru, which is a RPG that is anime-styled where you play as an alchemist. A lot of cool crafting stuff. It's the third one in the series. Next up is Digimon All-Stars Rumble. This is a really, really fun, sort of like a Smash Bros. Style brawler game. Really cool. Except all Digimon characters. All the famous ones, at least. Next one is Guitar Hero Smash Hits. Obviously, this is the best of Guitar Hero songs, except it's only the first three games. So it's really, really cool. My favorite Guitar Hero is this one. I promise these aren't all music games. It's just we seem to be going through some of my music games first. Next one, Rock Band. Obviously, everyone knows the original Rock Band, so don't really need to say much about that. Oh yeah, never mind. I'll deal with that later. Next one is Bleach Soul Resurrection. This is an action adventure game based on the Bleach anime. I honestly got that as a gift. I don't really play it that much. Next one is Stormrise. This is a first-person shooter that I think this is first-person. I remember it's a shooter that has like this weird storm apocalypse thing going on. It's pretty interesting. By Sega. Next one is Skate. This one is obviously an open-world skateboarding game. Very, very good, very popular. In my opinion, this is the best skateboarding series out there. Next one is Blazing Angels 2, Secret Missions of World War II. I played the demo for this when it originally came out, and I absolutely loved it. This is a mixture between arcade and simulation flying game. It's really, really good. Next one is Two Worlds 2, Game of the Year Edition. This is obviously an import game, but this is an RPG where you basically... It's just an RPG. So, fantasy style, open world game. Really, really cool. Nice to have that. It's the Game of the Year Edition, so it comes with all the DLC. Next is South Park, The Stick of Truth. I absolutely loved this game. It was so funny, and I just couldn't put it down until I beat it. and I recommend this to anybody that's a fan of South Park. It's like a really long episode of South Park. Next game. Record of Agarist War 2. This is a really long RPG with anime-style graphics and like a romance system. You get to marry one of these three. Spoiler alert. Next is the White Knight Chronicles International Edition. This is an action RPG, exclusive, with really good graphics. Nice to have those. Exclusive RPGs are always the best. Next we have Medal of Honor Limited Edition. I love this game. I'm so mad that they started straying away from this. I honestly loved the original Medal of Honor reboot. This is one of my favorite shooters. So, really good game. Next one is Brothers in Arms, Hell's Highway. World War II shooting game. I really like this just because the single player feels exactly like the multiplayer, but with missions, which is really cool. Next we have Rock Band 3. Same deal as Rock Band 1. We have Armored Core 4. This is a mech game. I don't really like the way this game is set up itself, but I do enjoy playing the mechs and, being in the combat. But I just wish the missions were a little bit more story-driven rather than just, yeah, this is what you're doing, go blow up the bad guys. But it has a really good customization system for your mechs. Next one is Elder Scrolls Oblivion. My favorite Elder Scrolls game right here. If you have never played Oblivion, or if you've played Skyrim and you've heard of Oblivion, buy this game. If you like Skyrim, you will love this. Best Elder Scrolls game. First-person RPG for those who've never played Elder Scrolls. Next is Aliens vs. Predator. This is a really good game if you only play the story. The multiplayer is incredibly broken. But you can either play as the Marines, the Aliens, or the Predators, which is pretty sweet. The graphics are really good, so I actually like that game. Next is Unreal Tournament 3. It's an Unreal Tournament game, so obviously there will be lots of exploding body parts, but it's a really cool, fast-paced shooter. Next is Lair. This was a launch game where you fly on a dragon. The controls, if you play with the 6-axis controls, are terrible. If you play with the joysticks, which there is an update for, it's not that bad. Like, the story itself is kind of meh. Really good graphics, though. Next is Disgaea 3, Absence of Justice. It's an RPG with, I don't remember. I didn't really all I remember is I didn't like playing this game, so this is my only Disgaea game. But yeah, Disgaea 3. For some reason I didn't like that. Next one, Motorstorm, the original. This is the one that came with my first PS3. It's a fun arcade racing game with, explosions and whatnot. So if you're into like rally games, it's fun. Next one is Fallout 3. I'm not as big into Fallout as I am Elder Scrolls, but I needed to check it out since I liked the Elder Scrolls games, and I think it's okay, but it's not something that I would go crazy over. So there's that. Next one is Uncharted 2. This is a sort of like Tomb Raider style game. Really good stories in these games, so if you've never played Uncharted, definitely pick these up, especially if you can find the Game of the Year editions. They come with all the DLC and cool stuff, so awesome game. It's my only greatest hits game, I think. Next one is Uncharted 3 Game of the Year edition. This came with my second PS3 after my first one died. And I loved this game. This is what got me into Uncharted. I actually started with number 3, and I loved this game. This game's so good. And the graphics are amazing for the PS3, so pick that up. Same thing as Uncharted 2, except different story. Next one is Aliens Colonial Marines. Didn't play a whole lot of this, but it's basically like Call of Duty with aliens in it. Kind of sweet, if you're into that. I didn't play too much of it, though. Next one is Lost Planet Extreme Condition. Fantastic third-person shooter. I really, really love this game. Only problem is it doesn't have a co-op story like Lost Planet 2, but still definitely worth checking out. I think it's my favorite Capcom game ever. Next one is Beowulf the game. I picked this up when it was brand new, and I honestly really like it. It's like God of War, but with Beowulf's story. So if you liked the Beowulf story, then you should pick this up because it follows kind of closely to the poem. I don't remember if it's called a poem or not, but it's pretty good. I liked it. Very violent. Next one is Atelier Totori, The Adventures of Arland. This is the second in the Atelier Arland series, and it's the same thing as Maruru, but this is the one before it, so really, really good. I actually played quite a bit of this, and I really like it. I still need to get Rorona, which is the one I'm missing. Next one is Legendary. This is a pretty hard game to find, but it's a mediocre first-person shooter, but it has a really cool concept where like Pandora's box is open in modern times and what would happen. It's kind of cool. I like the cover for it as well. Oops, sorry about that. Next one is Mag. I loved this game when it was online. I played the beta. I played this for like 180 hours or something crazy like that. And it's my favorite shooter of all time. It just sucks I can't play it anymore, but I will always keep this copy of Mag just because. Next one, Resistance 2. It's a very brown first-person shooter with like mutated people and stuff in the 50s. So it's like, what if we had these mutated things in the 50s? Or I think they were aliens, or are they mutated? I don't remember. It's been a little while since I played Resistance, so. All right, next game. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. I played a lot of this when it came out, and in my opinion, this is the best Call of Duty game ever. And I still have so many great memories with this game. And I beat this. This is the only Call of Duty I think I beat the story, except for Modern Warfare 2. Those are the only two I've actually played. Pretty awesome games, especially the multiplayer. I'm not sure how well multiplayer works nowadays, but back when it was relevant, it was amazing. All right, so the next game I got is the Orange Box, which is kind of hard to find on the PS3. I know it's really easy to find on 360, but this comes with Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Half-Life 2 Episode 2, Team Fortress 2, and Portal, which it's 5 games for one, and it's definitely worth picking up. People still play Team Fortress 2 online for PS3. I played it quite a bit. The controls are really weird, but it's a fun set altogether, and definitely worth having, especially if you want to play all the Half-Life games on consoles. You need the Orange Box to do that. Next one is Grid. This is my favorite racing game of all time. It's like the perfect blend of simulation racing and arcade racing. So if you've never played Grid, I think you guys need to. It's really, really cool. Really good graphics as well. All right, the next one is Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon. And this is a third-person shooter where you shoot bugs that are invading Earth. It's pretty simple. I think it's a really fun game. Like, it's really, really fun. The story's not the greatest, but it's a fun game. If you're wondering what the scribble is, this is Steve Blum's autograph. I went to a convention, and he was there, and he voices one of the characters in this, and this is like his most unknown thing that I've ever seen that he's voiced in. And he plays like one of the main characters called Lightning, but he doesn't remember doing it, so that's why there's a question mark that says after Lightning, because he signs his name, puts his character in. That's what that is. So really cool. Happy to have that, obviously. Next game is Uncharted Drake's Fortune. First Uncharted game. So definitely worth having if you want to play those. Next one is Battlefield 3. This is my favorite Battlefield game. I love the helicopter controls in this game. They ruined them in 4. That's all I'm going to say. But really, really pretty game. First-person shooter. They're all kind of the same. Next one, Power Gig, Rise of the Six Strings. Terrible game. Just terrible. It's a music game. I wanted to get a bunch of different music games. I mean, it's playable, but it's just bad. Don't get this. No matter how much you want it, don't get it. Don't do it. Next one. Tekken Tag Tournament 2. This is the newest Tekken game. Tekken 7 comes out soon, so I'm excited for that. But Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Love this game. I love the Tekken franchise. It's an amazing fighting game. If you've never played Tekken before, great way to get into it because it has a huge roster. Man, I need to speed this up. We're at 15 minutes and we still got a bunch of crap to go. Battlefield Bad Company 2. Same thing as the other Battlefield, except older. Tom Clancy's Hawks. This is a arcade jet fighting game. Final Fantasy 13. Same deal as Final Fantasy 13 2, except the one before it. Alright, get the stack going. Next we have Guitar Hero, Warriors of Rock. Same deal as the other Guitar Hero games. This is the last traditional one that they made, I should say. For some reason I feel like I'm missing one in that stack. Whatever. Guitar Hero Van Halen. Self-explanatory. Battlefield 4, same thing as Battlefield 3, but they ruined the helicopter controls. Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock, same deal. Rock Revolution, Konami's version of Guitar Hero, not half bad. Guitar Hero World Tour. Not even going to explain that one anymore. I'm not even going to explain the Guitar Hero games anymore. Guitar Hero 5. Right, next we have Black Site, Area 51. This is a first-person shooter where it takes place in Area 51. It's kind of interesting. We have Duke Nukem Forever. Obviously had to get this game. It's kind of infamous, but it's a really fun game nonetheless. So, Fuse. This is another first-person shooter from Insomniac, and yeah, first-person shooters. Next is Zone of the Enders, RPG with mechs. Have to get that collection. Let's just start doing this way. Next we have Genji, Days of the Blade. This is the sequel to the PS2 game. Not nearly as good, though. Next we have Bulletstorm. This is a really funny first-person shooter, and definitely worth checking out if you want a funny first-person shooter. Next we have Dragon Age Origins Awakening. This is an amazing expansion pack. If you like Dragon Age Origins, you definitely need to get that. Like, there's no even question about it. You have to get it. Next is Untold Legends Dark Kingdom. This is a action adventure RPG. Pretty self-explanatory, kind of. Next one is Rock of the Dead. This is like a light gun game meets Guitar Hero. It's kind of weird. Next is Rainbow Six Vegas 2. Another first-person shooter where you play as the SWAT team. Next is Tom Clancy's End War. This is a RTS that's really, really bad. It was not worth the $179. I paid for it. Don't buy it. Not very good. Next one is Deadpool the game. Hilarious action brawler game. Just nothing else needed. Next one is Homefront. Another first-person shooter, but where North Korea invades the United States. Oh no. Next one is Dynasty Warriors Gundam. Actually a really fun Dynasty Warriors game because, you know, Gundam, is amazing. And next one is Minecraft. Shouldn't really need to explain this, but it's kind of cool to have on console in physical form. I'm not a big Minecraft fan, though, so I don't really know what to say about it. Next one. Vikings Battle for Asgard. Pretty cool open world game with Vikings. Nice. Next one is Dark Sector. This is a third-person action game. Really, really weird boomerang thing. Next is Beyond Two Souls. This is a story game by Quantic Dream. And it is, you know, a Quantic Dream game. That's just kind of how they are. Next one is Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Shouldn't really need to explain that one. We have Diablo 3. If you've never played Diablo before, buy Diablo 3. You will like it. You will like it. It's one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Not even because of the story, just because the mechanics of the game are just so much fun. Guitar Hero Metallica. Next we have White Knight Chronicles 2. This includes White Knight Chronicles 1, but in an updated engine, and it's just the sequel. It pretty much continues exactly where the last one left off. So more of an expansion pack, I think. Next one is Skate 2. Sequel to Skate. Skateboardies. Next one is Lord of the Rings, War in the North. This is like a side story to the Lord of the Rings games. And I actually like this game just because it's made by Snowblind Studios. And they make pretty decent mechanics for action RPGs. Next one is Green Day Rock Band. And Rock Band Metal Track Pack. Alright, only 33 more games to go, guys. Yep, we're getting there. Next one is Tekken Hybrid, which is basically just a remaster of Tekken Tag Tournament. And a movie. The movie's pretty good. Next one is Mind Jack. This is a RPG where you can like take control of people's bodies. It's really weird. Next one is Resistance Fall of Man. Same thing as the other Resistance game, but the first one. Next one is kind of a hard game to find, and I'm really happy they're making a sequel to it. Nier. Fantastic soundtrack to this game. Definitely worth checking out for that alone. Really different RPG. Resistance 3. Same thing as the other two Resistance games. Next we have PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. I actually really enjoy this game. It's like a Smash Bros. Kind of game, but not quite. I really, really like this. I have it for the Vita also, so that just shows you how much I like it. Next one is Time Shift. This is a first-person shooter with time mechanics. Definitely worth picking up for that, and the story is not that bad. Next one, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Don't really need to explain that. Rock Band 2. Don't really need to explain that either. Band Hero. Don't need to explain that one. Next one is Borderlands. Borderlands is like Fallout without as much story and more Diablo loot. That's basically what Borderlands is. Dragon Age 2. This is the sequel to Dragon Age Origins, and honestly, it doesn't get as much credit as I think it deserves. It's a really good story. The levels are kind of repetitive, but the story itself is great. Skyrim. Skyrim is, sequel to Oblivion. It's same kind of game, but a little dumbed down, I think. Brink. This is a first-person shooter with parkour mechanics that was kind of overhyped. Brink. Brutal Legend. This is a brawler. with Jack Black and really interesting music by Ozzy Osbourne. Alpha Protocol, the espionage RPG. Obviously, it's an RPG and it's a choice-based game, sort of like KOTOR and all that stuff. So, kind of cool. Next one is LA Noire. This is like Grand Theft Auto, but if you're playing a cop. It's basically like a murder mystery type game. But the facial animations for this are fantastic. Like, seriously, way, way ahead of its time. Next one, Dragon Age Origins. My favorite fantasy RPG on the PS3 is this game right here. It's great. If you've never played it, play it now. Like, there's no excuse. This game is so good. The combat, it may be very uninteresting, but the story's worth it. Next one, Singularity. Another first-person shooter, time mechanics. I think this is the one with time mechanics. Yes, this is the one with time mechanics. So, time mechanics. Next one, Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the Right Witch. And this is a RPG turn-based by Studio Ghibli. Not really Studio Ghibli, but it has Studio Ghibli art in it, which is definitely worth picking up for that alone. Next we have Condemned to Bloodshot. Really scary game. The first one's not on PS3, but really, really scary game. Really good. First person as well. Next one is Fallen Angel, Sacred 2. Kind of like a Diablo clone. It's pretty good, though. It has a lot more races. It has some different races. Not more, but different races. Alright. So, this is the last stack, guys. Only 11 more games to go. Next one. Little Big Planet 2. This, you basically just make your own platforming levels. Not a big fan of it, honestly. Enslaved, Odyssey to the West. This is a action-adventure game. And it's honestly really, really good. I'm really, really happy that I have this game. It's really fun. Next one, Vampire Reign Altered Species. This is a director's cut, I think is what you would call it, of Vampire Reign. It's kind of like a cult classic game, if I remember correctly. It's decent, but it's not anything to really like get crazy over. Next one, Haze, the infamous Haze. I beat this game. It's okay. It's got a lot of glitches, but it's playable-ish. Next one, Killzone 3. It is like the prettiest shooter on PS3, and it is a futuristic shooter. Really cool. I have a collector's edition of this, and it is so worth having. Next one, Killzone 2, same thing. Next one, Call of Duty Black Ops. Don't really need to explain this. Next one, Cross Edge. This is a RPG mashup of a bunch of different JRPGs mixed into one. You can see the Atelier chick right there. I think that's Rorona. I don't remember which Atelier that is. But you have a bunch of different RPGs mixed into one. It's kind of cool crossover game. Next one is Time and Eternity. This is amazing. This is an amazing RPG. It's literally like playing an anime. Like, the graphics themselves are literally anime graphics. You can't really see it, but it is literally anime graphics 24/7. It's anime characters put onto a 3D environment. Kind of, it sounds like it's wonky, but it's really well done. I definitely recommend that if you're a fan of anime. And next one is Tomb Raider, the reboot. Really, really good. If you've never played the Tomb Raider games, this is a good way to get into it because it's like a modern Tomb Raider. It's really good. The graphics are really good. The last game I have is one of the best games for the system, and I recommend everyone who has a PS3 to buy this game right now if you don't have it. The Last of Us. Phenomenal game. I'm not going to say anything about it other than there's infected people in it and you fight them, because I don't want to ruin this game for you, because the story's fantastic. Fantastic. So, really happy to have that. And yes, that's the end of the video. Only took half an hour of me sitting here in one cut talking to you guys. My throat's really dry, by the way. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any recommendations for games, let me know in the comment box below. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up or don't, because it's all up to you. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll do a little aerial shot of what 114 games looks like. Alright. Got the 2 over there. There's actually 2 back here. You can't really see them, but they're in their own little stack. But, there's the rest of the stacks of games. These are in stacks of 11, so 114 if you want to take the time to count. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.